哦，好累，来滑一下手机再睡觉好了。哦，小雨诶，这款 N 导，我介意诶，会弹吉他，帅。
叮咚。
啊？谁现在传讯息给我？
喂，还没睡啊？
拿起来，滑一下 IG 就要睡了。
哦，不要熬太晚好吗？明天这么重要的日子哎。
关掉，继续滑 IG。哦，这个小雨跟刚刚看起来不一样，但是妈妈是盖鸡块，好帅哦！天哪，他那个鼻子哦。
叮铃叮铃叮铃。
喂。
喂，你到了没啊？
啊？到哪里？
到哪里？到捷运站啊！我们不是说好先吃早餐蕊开吃的吗？
啊？你在紧张什么啦 ？Look at the bright side of life， 好不好？现在不是才晚上吗？为什么这么 bright？ 已经早上了。
小易哟。
哦，到底要怎么时间管理它？
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Michelle. Let's talk about our online classes. How was it going? Did you listen to your teachers in class? Oh, seriously? Or you just put your computers aside and continue to scroll on your Instagram? Then you'd better listen to my research on the correlation between high school students' usage of social media and their time management. As high school students, we are usually busy with a lot of tasks, such as studying, doing reports, participating in club activities, or dating, and never seem to have enough time to get everything done. However, there are lots of distractions out there that draw one's attention away from their studies and their assignments. According to sources on Zero Omega, social media, such as Instagram and Facebook, is one of the worst offenders. It's therefore intriguing to find out whether uses of social media lead to poor time management in high school. To understand how social media affects high school students' time management and the correlations between the two, I conducted a survey targeting high school students in Taiwan. The survey questions come in 3 parts: the basic information of the participants, the circumstances of using social media, and the time management level of the participants. The third part of the survey is designed by referring to the time management scale of my tools. The survey questions involve 5 aspects of time management, which are goal setting, procrastination, managing interruptions, scheduling, and prioritization. And the higher score means better time management. The participants are classified as low, medium, and high in terms of time management level, based on their scores. Ultimately, I received 109 replies in total, and among the participants, there are only about 32% of them are rated as high in time management level. In other words, most of the high school students in the survey admit that they don't really do well on their time management. Here's the average time of using social media. This figure shows that of all the students that use social media under 1 hour per day, most of them are the high time management level participants. In other words, students who spend less than 1 hour a day on social media are more likely to be better time managers. On the other hand, it's also interesting to see that for high school students who spend more than 1 hour a day on social media, there is no significant correlation between their time management level and the amount of time they spend on social media. That is, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are a poor time manager even if you spend 3 or 5 hours a day on social media. In conclusion, the average time of using social media per day does not necessarily reflect a student's time management capacity. As you can see in the picture, the study shows that none of the high time management level participants check social media once per 5 minutes, and the number of high-level participants rises gradually as the frequency of using social media decreases. Thus, people showing a high time management level tend to use social media at a low frequency. It stands to reason that the frequency of using social media affects one of the most important parts, concentration of good time management. In this figure, it shows that all the participants who are sure that they finish their planned tasks first before checking social media are also those rated as high in time management level. However, there is no other obvious data that supports the direct correlation between the priority of using social media and time management. This figure shows that most of the medium-level participants don't set a particular time for using social media. It means that those who make it a habit to allocate proper time for using social media are more likely to be high-level participants than those who don't. Therefore, setting time aside for using social media is a good way to help students manage their time. So, to conclude the results of both, first, for most of the high school students, there is a lot of room for improvement to better manage their time. Secondly, the frequency of using social media and time management are closely related. For instance, the more frequently you check your Instagram, the worse your time management probably is, compared with those who don't do that as frequently. And whether you can regulate your time for social media can decide whether you are a good time manager or not. It means that a good time manager will not use social media all the time. Rather, set aside appropriate time for the use of social media. On the other hand, the average time of using social media per day does not necessarily correspond to a person's time management. So, even though you use social media for long hours each day, maybe more than 5 hours, as long as you are sure that you finish all the important tasks, then you can still outperform others in terms of time management. Moreover, the priority of using social media has little to do with time management. In other words, if you consider using social media a priority or a meaningful task, such as communicating with families and friends, then you can still be a good time manager. So, what do you do if you want to improve your time management? Here are my suggestions. Number 1, set time aside for using social media. Whether you decide to use your phones or do your homework first, you'd better schedule your social media time. For example, appoint an online time every day from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. with your families and friends. And number 2, avoid mindless scrolling on social media. For example, before checking social media, set a reminder for yourself to avoid wasting too much time. And last but not least, reduce the frequency of using social media the best you can. Simply switch your phone on airplane mode when you are focusing on tasks. Then you won't be disrupted by those annoying messages. Well, before I end my speech today, I do have one last question for you. Have you just checked your Instagram page in the past 5 minutes? If you have, then chances are you do have a time management problem. Why not follow my suggestions and be a better time manager? Thank you for listening.
100。
好。哎，有午餐吧？应该有付吧？
没有，只有点心。
刚刚饭点不好吃。
啊，你去吃那个
快走，我们可以回来了。
大豆小豆干。